So, Elizabeth, tell us about what you do.
Well, I write about the women's suffrage movement. I've written several books on it and also articles, and I give talks. And I'm a book dealer, book and ephemera dealer, specialising in books and ephemera by and about women, but I specialise in the women's suffrage movement because there's so much material still around. There were flyers that were produced for meetings, banners, badges, masses of badges that were produced at the time, and they still trickle through. I bought one on eBay yesterday, so they're still around, and so that keeps me pretty fully occupied. Yeah.
What are your views on feminism and the army?
Well, I should think that the more women in the army, the better. I think feminism would be very good for the army. I don't know about feminising the army, but women in the army is a good thing, particularly allowing women greater scope for developing new areas that they might have not been able to have access to otherwise. Cataclysms of the suffragettes or their windows smashing and going to prison and being forcibly fed, that's the kind of thing the public may have heard about. But they don't realise just how many hundreds of meetings had been held around the country, thousands of meetings around the country for 50 odd years before. And then the First World War did shake everything up, and at the end of it women got the vote. But I wouldn't say it was because of the war. The war was a factor, but it wasn't the only factor.
What were some of the factors? I'm really interested
in giving women the vote. Well, just that they changed the whole idea of what women could do. One of the very first people to be involved in the suffrage movement way back in 1866 was a woman called Elizabeth Garrett, who had just qualified as the first woman doctor, and she'd had to really beat all the bureaucracy. The male medical profession had thrown up so many barriers in her way, and she'd got round them all and became qualified as a doctor. And after that, women did become doctors. It just opened the doors. It still wasn't easy, but they could do it. And she set up a hospital so women could train there. And in the same way, her friend Emily Davis set up Girton College at Cambridge, and then others in the group set up Newnham College. There were two women's colleges at Cambridge then, so women could have a higher education, and many of them then went on to teach and founded the kind of academic schools, grammar schools, where girls could get an academic education rather than just doing the sort of needlework and learning to play the piano that had been available before. So slowly, over 40 odd 50 years of the of the 19th century, the last half of the 19th century, women began to do all these different things, and jobs opened up. They became clerks. They could go and work in offices. They become what we call typewriters. Well, they used the typewriter, but they were actually called typewriters, secretaries, and they just got out in the world and could do things rather than sitting at home and having to rely on their fathers or brothers or husbands to support them. And so it became less necessary for a woman to search for a husband, which had been their main occupation in the earlier part of the 19th century.
And lastly, what are your views on the army and feminism? Is it a good thing?
Oh, I would think it's a very good thing. I should think the more women in the army, the better. And it's been a great breakthrough in my lifetime. There were no women in the army when I was young. Women went into the women's services, but not into the army. And I should think feminising touch is an excellent idea. Women get trained then to do things that they would never perhaps have the opportunity to do otherwise.